pressure. She sacked him. A great bull rush by Chris Jones.
It gets tough. You know, he's going to be there battle. Players appreciate it.
The Chiefs put the hammer down with a 34-yard touchdown pass. The 10, still not out. Oh, what a run out of this world. They're falling up the 20, 10, 5, touchdown.
There is nothing like playoff football in the NFL. There's nothing like playoff wins in the NFL, and you can hear still a raucous crowd here. Chiefs win it 27-20 in this divisional playoff round against the Jacksonville Jaguars. The 9th win of Patrick Mahomes' era, and Andy Reid makes history in this game. 10 playoff wins with 2 different franchises. No coach in the history of this league has ever done it.
Just unbelievable stuff. Let's exhale here after that one. We're going to a 5th straight AFC title game. Think about that. The only teams to accomplish that in NFL history to go to a conference title game 5 straight times. The 1973 to 1977 Raiders, the 2011 to 2018 New England Patriots, and now the 2018 to 2022 Kansas City Chiefs. It's our team going to a 5th straight AFC title game.
And in the divisional playoff round, there has been no quarterback even to get close to Patrick Mahomes in this round. He gets 1 more touchdown in this game, 10 touchdowns, no picks. But he ties Kenny Stabler. You mentioned the Raiders of the 70s and John Madden. He ties Kenny Stabler to going 5-0 in this round. It's the best in NFL history in the first 5 games, obviously, with that many games in the history of this league. Not Tom Brady, not Bart Starr. It's Patrick Mahomes. And it's what an incredible performance today. Not just stats, but his courage to play on that bad ankle.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not just stats and numbers with him. He has all of those things, right? But what makes him an MVP? Well, it's his legendary status to go through any kind of situation, no matter what, and say, I'm going to find a way for my team. He found a way here today, essentially on one leg for most of this game. And think about that 10-play, 75-yard touchdown drive that ended with a 6-yard touchdown pass to Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Helped win the game for the Chiefs in the middle of the 4th quarter. Truly a legendary drive by Patrick Mahomes. I'm thinking Michael Jordan flu game kind of stuff. Kurt Schilling with the bloody sock. We saw Patrick Mahomes' moment like that here tonight.
Somebody, Dana Hughes even mentioned Willis Reed. This was way before you were even like limping on the floor in the NBA Finals to get the win for the New York Knicks. Travis Kelce then, if he almost has had an MVP kind of season, but in the postseason, it's ridiculous now what Travis has done. In this game, 14 catches. That puts him 2nd all-time in the history of the league to Jerry Rice in postseason catches. 3 receptions, of course, in this game. That ties Jerry Rice. He's done it 16 times. And then he and Mahomes team up for their 12th postseason touchdown. That ties Joe Montana to Jerry Rice for 2nd behind Brady and Gronkowski.
We're watching Joe Montana and Jerry Rice.
We are.
In Chiefs uniforms.
Yeah.
We're getting to watch it with our own eyes. This is our experience as Chiefs fans, watching these guys, 2 of the greatest players in franchise history, and we're watching them do their thing here for us every single night. It's remarkable stuff. Travis Kelce had 14 catches in this game. It was the most by a tight end in a playoff game in NFL history, and the 3rd most by any player in a playoff game in NFL history, and the record is 15, so he was pretty close to it. You need your big-time players to step up in games like this, particularly when Patrick Mahomes was hurting. That's what Travis Kelce did. He was remarkable.
And let's go about Patrick Mahomes hurting. Near the end of the 1st quarter, an ankle injury to Mahomes. Oh, the ball's back at the 2-yard line. Chad Henne engineers a 98-yard drive for a touchdown. The only time in 15 years that Chad Henne has played in a postseason game has been the divisional playoff round, right? He finished out the game against Cleveland. But this is even tougher. He went 98 yards against a good defense. Give Isaiah Pacheco credit for a big-time 39-yard run.
What's with Chad Henne and the divisional round? Also, that first 3rd down that they converted, that play looked familiar to you? That was the play on 4th down to Tyreek Hill against the Browns, I believe.
Good old sprint option, man.
Yeah, a couple of years ago. Just remarkable stuff from Chad. Being a backup quarterback in the NFL is the best job in the world and the hardest job in the world, because you have to be ready at a second's notice to come in the game in a divisional round playoff game and find a way, engineering a 98-yard touchdown drive. Just amazing stuff from Chad.
27-20 victory. We are not leaving defense and special teams out of this. We're going to talk about that later in the show, but let's go to the podium.
Okay, good seeing everybody. Really injuries, Pat obviously tweaked his ankle. L'Jarius Sneed hurt his nose. Pat was able to, he came in, got x-rays, everything done, and then was able to come back in. And then Legarius did the same thing. He was able to make sure the thing was set and in a good position and came back in. So all in all, heck of a game. We appreciate the fans, and they were incredible. I thought both sides of the ball and special teams did a nice job tonight. Special teams was against one of the best teams in the league, special teams wise. Pro Bowl returner, and that last punt was a beautiful thing. Bucker, I very seldom start with special teams, but Bucker kicked the ball well, and he also tackled well. So that was a big tackle. And then offensively, I thought the guys, I thought the whole group played well. It was great to see Chad come in that backup role, and I thought everybody kind of stepped their game up and had so much confidence in Chad, and he executed. But I thought everybody around him did a nice job too. And then Pacheco with 95 yards or whatever he had there, I thought he did a tremendous job running the ball. Kendrick, likewise, he did a nice job too. So, and then Kelsey, every time I stand up here, I feel like he breaks another record. So he broke some record, and then he also had 98 yards and 2 TDs and did a great job there. Defensively, listen, my hat goes off to the defense. You can't move forward in the NFL playoffs if your defense doesn't play well. And I thought from the DBs to the defensive line to the linebackers, I thought everybody was flying around making plays, and again, my hat goes off to the guys for that. They were incredible on third downs, first, second downs, and just played a great game all the way around. My hat goes off to Spags and EB and Tobe for the jobs that they did, and the coaches. I wanted to mention Tony in the mix there too. I thought he had some nice plays for us, being kind of the new kid on the block. He had some nice plays. Our young DBs, again, stepping up. Watson with the interception. What a great job. The 2 turnovers were obviously huge for us, and again, great team win. So that time's yours.
Andy, take us into the decision to put Pat back in the game. Was that a difficult decision, or was there a decision at all at that point?
Well, it was hard getting him out of the game, first of all. He wanted to fight, and so we got him out, went to the x-ray, got it x-rayed, looked at, taped. He came back, and he said he felt good enough to be protected, where he's not going to get hurt. That's obviously the primary thing. And he felt like his mobility was good enough where he could do that. So we did a few little things with him on the sideline to see where he was at, put him in, and it was a short leash. So if I felt like he wasn't able to handle it, he would have been out and back in Henny. So.
Do you feel like that affected him in any way in the second half, the injury?
I don't know. It didn't look like it, but I thought he did a pretty good job.
When he goes back in, does that change up what you want to do offensively, or is it just keeping it?
Yeah, we basically kept everything the same. We just kept it going. What we were doing before. So,
Your early indication here. How much do you think they can the rest of the way? Will it at all?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I don't want to jump to things right now, but let's just see how it goes here the next couple days. It's going to be sore, I know, but let's see where he's at. He's had this before, and was able to keep pushing through. Actually, against Jacksonville, a couple years ago, same type of deal. So he pushed through that. The main thing is that he's safe. I mean, that's or as safe as you can be on a football field. So, that's the important thing.
Coach, were you surprised it was so close? You had told us to expect that.
Yeah, when you start doing, and you guys do this, when you start doing the studies on this game, this round right here, these games are one-score games normally. So, it's a high percentage, and so you buckle it up for 4 quarters, and it's going to come to that. I will tell you, I think Doug's done a phenomenal job. Their team is better than they were when they played us before, and the sky's the limit for them. I mean, they're young, and they believe in what they're being taught, and they play hard. So, and they're well coached.
What's just out most about the drive? They cut it to 3. You guys get a touchdown after. What stands out most to you on that drive?
I'm having a hard time placing that drive right now with the other. Yeah. So that was one to answer Adam's question about mobility. I mean, he did a nice job on that, having to move around and make that throw. Yeah. I mean, there were good plays within the mix there of everything that was going on. I'm blending all the plays, but that's all right.
Yeah. Also, when you first put Patrick back in the game, there's a third down play where he screams a little bit. I wonder if you guys had any instructions for him not to do that, and if he sort of learned it's just going to.
Yeah, that kind of told me he was okay. He was thinking he was okay, but yeah. I didn't want him to do. No, I didn't want him to do that, but I didn't tell him. Not to. I mean, you can't tell somebody that. If they can't do that, then they got to get out of the game. So.
How hard is it for Chad to come in at the 2-yard line and do what he
Yeah, phenomenal.
How vital was that to overall result?
The best thing about that hit was everybody trusted Chad. That's the best part. That's the way he handles himself, and the confidence the guys have in him. I thought they all stepped up. The O-line did a nice job. Chad did a nice job getting the ball out on time, and the O-line did a nice job. The run game, Pacheco had the long run. It was beautiful. They blitzed on it, and he kind of got bumped back and kept going like he does, and put together a nice run, nice drive on the whole thing. But Chad, the guys love Chad, and they play for him. So it was a great deal.
Along those lines, things that were vital. I mean, Patrick obviously depends a lot on Travis. But a day like this, where Patrick's got some, other challenges, how much do you think that was just paramount to making this a win?
Yeah, everybody contributed. Marquez, I mean, we had a few plays in for Marquez, and they did a good job rolling the coverage that direction, and he didn't hang his head. He just kept battling, and ends up with a big touchdown for us. But you could say that about Juju. Juju went through the game, comes up with a huge catch on the sideline there. And Pat had a tremendous amount of trust in him to throw the back shoulder throw.
Coach Reed, did you get a sense on the sidelines that everyone wanted to up their game when Patrick was hobbled and there was a possibility he may not return?
Yeah, I'd probably tell you, yeah. I mean, the guys were, they're very protective, particularly the offensive line in general. And so, they were hooting and hollering about that, that nobody touches a quarterback. So.
Coach, what would kind of take us into that conversation where it didn't really look like he wanted to go back and get the X-ray for families to hear? What was that conversation like? We know he's competitive, 51% of the vote on this.
It would be like me trying to ask you not to ask a question. No, listen, he's a tough kid, and so he wanted to be in there. He wanted to be competing, and that's, it's a tribute to him and his competitiveness. However, you got to make sure he's okay, physically okay, where he can protect himself. And if he can't, then he can't play. I mean, you have to go with the next guy. But he's a tough nut, and he's very. When I tell you he's competitive, he's very, very competitive.
Last one by.
Andy, I feel like I should know this, but I don't. Who was next man up at quarterback if that knockout punch came to Chad?
Yeah, we've got a couple guys there that have played quarterback in college. Number one's one of them, so he would have been probably number one up.
All right, thank you.
All right, touchdowns are hard to get anytime, but in the playoffs they're really hard to get, and this guy got one. Marquez Valdes-Scantling, walk us through the touchdown play, because what a drive with Patrick Mahomes hobbling around.
Yeah, so the play was actually designed to go to Travis. I was the second read on the play, and then when our running back motioned out to the right, I see that the linebacker went with him, so the safety was down on Travis. I think they were going to double him, so I knew I became the first option there. So I was able to beat my defender across his face, and Pat was able to give me a ball.
And how much of that is playing with Patrick, in that you may not be the primary, but it's like everybody's the primary every time? How about a mentality that way?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, with him, he can make anybody the guy, and he can move around. Even with one, bad foot, he still is able to move around and find guys. And that just keeps showing, how tough he is and how great of a quarterback he is.
Let's talk about the mentality of the offense when he does not play and backed up at the 2-yard line. A 98-yard touchdown drive from Chad Henne. Walk us through that circumstance.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you never want to lose your starting quarterback, but we got a guy who's been in this league for a long time, who has a lot of experience, coming in and playing. Has been a starter for numerous of years, and, even backing up, he's still been a great guy. So for him to come in, we knew there was going to be no drop-off. Obviously, you're not going to get the running around spectacular plays like, Pat gives you. But, Chad's a technician. Ball's out on time, always making the right reads, getting guys in the right position. He's a ultimate pro, and we're lucky to have a guy like that on our team.
And how was the huddle then, and how was the mood of the guys then?
It didn't change at all. Like I said, we knew that having that guy come in there, it was going to be no different. He wasn't nervous. He got the plays in and out. Got guys lined up. So it was great.
And how about just kind of sawing away in this game? This is a good Jacksonville defense of kind of staying patient and keep grinding.
Yeah, man. Like they're in the playoffs for a reason. To see them even come back, last week down 27 points and then hold the good Chargers offense at 3 points in the second half. That's to speak volumes to who they are and how they get down. And so I was really excited to be able to be a part of another win against a really good defense.
And you've been a part of playoff victories. You had a couple in Green Bay before coming here. Just to win in the playoffs, what is required?
4 quarters. I think that's the biggest thing. There's no mistakes that can be made. Every mistake is critical. The margin of error is so small, especially in the playoffs. It's already small in the National Football League, but it gets even smaller in the playoffs. And I think that, having a good football team that doesn't really make a lot of mistakes and, can capitalize off others' mistakes, that's how you win games.
Big-time touchdown in the playoffs. Marquez Valdes-Scantling.
Yeah, I obviously didn't want to go back and see it. I didn't want to go get the x-rays or whatever it was. I wanted just to continue to play. I told him I would do it at halftime, but Coach, in the best interest of me, he made me go back there and get that x-ray before he put me back in the game. And for a while, I thought I could get and play through it. And then he said, "I'm not putting you back in, so you might as well go get the x-ray. And then if it's negative or whatever, I'll put you back in." So I ran back there, got the x-ray, and was able to finish the game.
How are you feeling now after the game's over? How's the ankle feeling now?
I was just talking to him. It feels better. It feels better than I thought it was going to be now. Obviously, I have a lot of adrenaline going right now, so we'll see how it feels. But I'll hop right in the treatment tonight and try to do whatever I can to be as close to 100% by next week. But luckily for us, we played the early game on Saturday, so we get an extra almost half a day that I can let that ankle rest.
Knowing you didn't want to come out, what did you make of the job Chad did?
It's special, man. He's in the playoffs. He don't get any reps during the week. And he prepares himself to be able to go in for stuff like that. And he got a 98-yard drive, backed up, a playoff game against a great opponent, and be able to drive the ball down the field, make some big throws versus some pressure looks. They brought some heat whenever he came in the game. And he made some big throws and was able to get us into the end zone. And that was a big point in the game because it was able to – that gave me the ability to kind of come back and rest and wait till halftime until we kind of retaped and did everything we could to get me ready to go in the second half.
What else was included in everything we could to get you going in terms of treatment? How else did you need?
No real treatment. You don't have time to get treatment and stuff like that. But you just put the spat on, get it tight, try to keep the swelling down, and then go out there and play. And they made me do a couple things in the locker room to show that I could move and protect myself if everything kind of pressure came, or whatever it was. And credit to the team. Offensive line did a great job in that second half of protecting me. I got the ball in my hands quickly, and guys made plays. But it's a team sport for a reason, and guys stepped up around me.
How do you work with your footwork? Obviously, you had to do some things differently, right?
Mm-hmm.
How much is that conscious, or it just you're jumping off the other foot? All those things. How do you process that?
Yeah, you just got to be a competitor at the end of the day. Not all things are going to be perfect. You have to find a way to make stuff happen. Obviously, I missed some throws. I probably think I could have made if I would have been in the right foot position, but luckily for me, I'm not in the right foot position all the time, so I'm able to make some throws like that anyways.
Patrick, I know you have a high tolerance for pain. How much more are you able to take? And then, did you ever feel like you might have put the team in jeopardy with you coming back in early?
I'm not coming out of a playoff game unless they take me out. And so I'm just going to play. I love this sport too much. I love this game. I love playing with my teammates and being able to go out there and enjoy it together. And we're we prepare all year to be in the playoffs and to play in these games, and I'm glad that I was able to get back in the game. And I mean, it's something that I just love competing in this sport, and pain is pain, and you have to deal with it either way.
And it's easy to say the number. This is your fifth straight AFC championship. I don't think any quarterback in the history of the league has played consecutively in that many since they've been a starter. What's that mean for you in this organization?
Yeah, I mean, it's a credit to the team I have around me, the coaches I have around me, and the organization in general. I mean, we prepare ourselves every year from training camp in St. Joe's, Missouri to be here, but it takes a day-by-day process, and I think the coaches preach that, the players do that, and the organization around us supports us in that mission. And so we just try to do whatever we can to be in this position to get to this AFC Championship game, and then now we'll find a way to get to the Super Bowl, and that's going to take a great week of preparation and practice.
Patrick, you touched on this a minute ago, but how much do you feel like the injury affected you in the second half after you came back?
There was a couple throws here and there where I tried to plant off that foot, and it didn't let me kind of plant like I usually do. And so a couple throws I didn't make. I told Coach I want to still throw it downfield, and so we were able to make some throws there after the first few drives, and I think he got a little confidence that I could protect myself. And so credit to our defense, man, holding us in that game, especially after the start of that second half when I wasn't able to get stuff going. So they held us in that game, made some big plays at the end, and we were able to score enough points to win.
When you're in there getting the X-rays, what it's like as far as waiting on the results, those some pretty nervous moments for you?
Yeah, pretty nervous moments, man. I mean, I always pray whenever stuff like that comes around, man, and just it's all in God's hands at the end of the day, and I just have to accept whatever it is and turn it into a positive. And so luckily for me, he blessed me to keep me injury-free as far as breaks or anything like that. And so now how can I prepare my body to be ready to go next week? And I'll start that tonight, and that process will be tough, but I'll be ready to go.
They step the game on TV for you?
Yeah, well, I'll be watching the game for sure. I mean, playoff football is the best time of the year, man. Just to be able to watch that, and so I'll get the treatment and stuff like that. But the families will have to wait for a while because I'll be getting that stuff done.
You went today when you were getting the X-ray.
Oh no, they don't ever show the TV, man. I've been back there the divisional round whenever the Browns game when Chad was playing. I didn't get to see like any of that until like the last drive, and so they do a good job of not having the TVs going in there so that I have to focus on myself and getting myself better more than focusing on the game.
Couple more.
They have 14 receptions, 2 touchdowns. What do you think of his day?
Yeah, man, it's another guy just steps up, man. It seems like he gets better and better in the playoffs as you get further and further in there. And you need those type of guys, and he did a great job of making some tough contested catches. And he's special, man. He's a special player, one-of-a-kind player. That's one of the main reasons that we've been able to be in this position so many times.
What's it like being
The last drive of it, where you guys scored a touchdown, they cut it to take me through that drive, and obviously you went down on a touchdown pass as well.
Yeah, no, it was a good job by everybody. I think everybody had a part in that drive. Everybody was making plays, and that's what championship teams do. Is that whenever stuff's not going their way and the game gets tight, how are you going to respond? And I went down, I kind of jumped and landed on the same ankle, but I had to find a way to get the ball in the end zone. And Marquez was there, and I needed to make the throw, and he stepped up, and made a big play there at the end of the game to win it.
Last two, Neil and Bob.
75,000 people thought this was going to be an easy game. What was it like being in a tight game with your situation with your ankle and with knowing your season's on the line?
Yeah, I mean, I never think any playoff game is going to be easy. I mean, teams are here for a reason. And even if they are surprised in a sense or whatever it is, they're here for a reason. They have the confidence that it's going to be a great game. If you look at wild card weekend or really the playoffs in general the last few years, every game seems like it's a one-score game. And so we came with the mentality that we were going to have to play to the very end. And obviously we had some adversity through there with some injuries and stuff like that. But I was proud of how the guys responded and were able to figure out a way to get the win.
Last one. Patrick, this is probably hard to separate, but how much do you feel like your urgency to get back in was, I got to play, and how much as a signal to your teammates, galvanize them?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you want to play. I mean, you just want to play because you've built that time from St. Joe. You've spent this time with your teammates and built up for this moment, and so you don't want to let guys down or whatever it is. You want to be in the game and be able to go out there and show off what you've worked for. But I don't think it really was anything for the team because the team has so much belief in Chad, and he's done it before. He's won divisional games by coming in and playing, and so they had so much belief in Chad, and you saw in that 98-yard drive. He ran the offense the way the offense is supposed to be ran. He threw it to the right guys, and guys stepped up and made plays. And so that's what a great team does. It's not about one guy, it's about the whole team.
Great. Hey.
one of the heroes of this game, rookie cornerback Jalen Watson. Walk us through the interception, because you went up for that one.
Yep, so he gave me an outside release. I ran with him. I turned my head, and the ball was kind of on me. So I didn't have time to get two hands. Just reached out with one, and I was pretty confident in my one hand. Ended up getting it, making a play for my team.
I always say you never forget the first one. How sweet is it to get your first playoff victory?
It's great. You know, the job all week was to go 1-0. Coach told us playoffs is going to be a lot faster, a lot more intense. Crowd's going to be louder. You got to control your emotions. And he told us we're no longer rookies anymore. We've been thrown in the fire early since day one, and we came in and did our job.
What adjustments did you guys have to make? They gave you 1,000 formations, and very similar to our offense and what Doug Peterson does. What adjustments did you guys make in the second half and the third quarter in particular?
Yeah, I think this honestly was the most difficult game on defense. You know, with the crowd being so loud, not being able to hear, and then Jaguars, they do a great job, you know, giving you eye candy, different formations, lots of motions. So communication was so big, and you couldn't hear, so we had to be big on hand signals and everyone trusting each other, and that's what we did.
You bring up a really interesting point. The crowd wants to get in it to force problems for the offense of the other team, but how difficult is that for you guys on the defensive end?
Yeah, it's super difficult, but, you know, it also helps us out because the offense can't hear anything either, and it's more important for, you know, the crowd to get the offense discombobulated rather than the defense being able to hear.
And then how about just keep fighting away here? I mean, you guys have been able to handle everything that's in front of you, and you rookies have done it for sure. What about the mentality of just keep grinding away, even if they hit big plays or a good drive?
Yeah, it's always the next play up. DBs, you have to have short-term memory. These wide receivers, these days, they get paid too. They get paid a lot of money to make these plays. So if you give up a play, just forget about it, on to the next one.
I love your story. As you had the 99-yard pick six against the Chargers, I was just reeling it off. But how big is this for you to get an opportunity to play with this franchise? I mean, Wazoo gave you a shot, but how far you've come in a short time to be in this moment.
Yeah, I'm just super blessed. Thank the coaches, the front office, everyone just giving me a chance, and the coaches trusting in me, putting me out there, and just trusting I can make a play for the team. And that's what I end up doing.
Absolutely, and you're getting photobombed by your other rookie 7th-round pick.
Yeah.
All right. What'd you think of his 39-yard run?
Pop comes in every day, gives us all. Everyone can see how he runs. Such a likable dude, full of energy. That's my guy. When we first came to training camp, we used to always talk every day about what we had to do to make the team. And it's crazy, both of us just sitting here today and looking where we're at now.
Incredible day, incredible future for this young man, Jalen Watson. Chiefs win it 27-20.
Just like riding a bike?
I don't know if it's just like riding a bike, but you're always prepared. And I think with this offense, obviously all our weapons that we have, and staying prepared each and every moment, I think you just stay ready. And when your number's called, you just go in there and do what you did in practice in the meeting rooms, and you just take it to the game.
What are you thinking? You get started at the 2-yard line. They don't even cut you a break. What were your thoughts at that point?
Yeah, I mean, they did a great job. I mean, changing field position just like we did. And I think at that point, it's just take what they give you. You know, just a couple of the first play was a stick, hit Kelsey and kind of got us going. Then we had a nice run. And, you know, you get in a little rhythm and you kind of keep the pressure on. And, you know, the biggest thing was just rely on your preparation just like you do in practice. Well, I mean, definitely nerves are high. You know, 2 years ago when I did it, it's the same thing. But once you get into the game and you kind of get going, it's just like repetition. And it's not like I've never done it before. I played in enough games, but when the opportunity is called upon, I feel like I'm ready.
Did you specifically draw on that game against Cleveland? I mean, was that kind of in your mind?
A little bit, but obviously it's just one play at a time. I mean, concentrate the best you can, and you know, just do what you do.
Did you ask for the third short play to Tony, the same one that you ran to Tyreek in the Browns game? Is that one of your specialties in the league?
Yeah, just a quick rollout, right, and hit the flat. No, it was one of the plays that was in our 3rd and 2-4 group, and it was ranked high for me. But that's what's great about this organization and Coach Reed and EB and Nagy. It's just when your plays are ranked, they believe in that. They believe what you believe in, and you feel very comfortable when the play does come in and to execute it.
Yeah, Patrick talked about that you don't get the reps during the practice and during the week because it's playoffs. How important are those mental reps for you?
Yeah, I mean, mental reps are big. I mean, Shane and I and Chris are always in the back. When Patrick is up there on offense, we're in the back doing the drops, doing our run reads as well. So we're always in the back doing mental reps. But at the same time, after practice, we get with a couple of receivers and we throw with them. Not that they're the starters, but we kind of get those reps that Patrick got in practice that we'll get in after practice.
How much did you feel you settled in after that initial throw to Travis to start the drive?
Yeah, I mean, it was a good completion to get going. I don't think you ever really just like settle in just on one play, but you feel the rhythm. You kind of get that first down, and you just go with the flow. And I think all the plays that were coming in, I felt confident in, and that's due to our coaching staff as well. You know, just believing in what I believe in as well, and we're all on the same page.
One of the guys said that you were telling some jokes when you came into the game. How did you cut the tension? How did you kind of break the nervousness that everybody had?
Yeah, I don't think it was jokes. I think it's just being confident. I think looking the guys in the eye, exemplifying some of the words in the offense that we do, and just really just get their attention, and knowing that you believe in them as well as them believing in me. So I think just giving them confidence that I know what I'm doing. And, it's just not a one-man show. I mean, there's a lot of great guys on our offense that really stepped up and helped my job a lot tonight.
Chad, there was just like a brief moment where Patrick was your back, when he came back from the locker room and he was back at timeout. You guys had just wondering what he was like in that conversation that he participated.
Yeah, I think he was just telling me what I tell him, take what they give you. And I think rely back on your fundamentals, and we tell each other that all the time. And he was great being there, encouraging, and just on the sideline just like I would be. So I always appreciate him. He's just the ultimate competitor and teammate, and I couldn't thank him enough.
Chad, what was your awareness of like what was going on with him that he went back to the X-ray and you just kind of focused on everything else that was happening for you?
Yeah, I mean, it was going back and forth, obviously, whether he's going to play or not. And obviously, Patrick wanted to play, and Coach Reed just wanted to just get it checked out just to make sure it wasn't, anything really severe. But the competitor that Patrick is, he keeps fighting. So I just knew at that point in time, I just need to be ready. I need to warm up. And if they're going with me, I'm ready. And if not, Patrick's in.
Last two. Hey, Chad, even as a veteran, I mean, thinking back to the divisional game and then this time, for Andy to have the confidence to call a pass play on the first snap when you come in, does that help you? Does that instill confidence in you?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's why he's such a great coach. I mean, any quarterback that comes in the system seems to have success, and he believes in the guys that are on his team. And, he had the confidence in me to throw the pass, obviously, but at the same time, we're not changing the offense. We're going to go out there and try to execute to the best of our ability and move the ball. So that's our jobs as players.
Last one.
Coach Reed said that the whole team just believed in you as soon as you went out there. Just talk about the grit and heart of this team to be in that position when you were in.
Yeah, I mean, ever since I got here in 2018, this is one of the best organizations I've ever been a part of. I mean, it's a true team feeling. Everybody supports one another. There's never a guy out there that's just above anybody else. We put our egos at the side. Everybody's humble. Everybody gives the credit when it's due, and that's what makes it such great. And it comes from the top down. Clark, to everybody, to Coach Reed. It's just unbelievable organization that we run here, and I couldn't be happier that I'm here.
Great, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
The Chiefs win it here 27-20. We have not talked about the defense yet, but let's do so. In the fact that two huge takeaways when the team needed it the most. First was the fumble recovery by Nick Bolton, which goes to show you the mentality of this team defensively. It's that whole, hey, it doesn't matter if they're not in, and they're not in till they're in. That was a big-time takeaway.
Yeah, that's why you defend every single blade of grass, right? The Jags had all the momentum there. They're moving right down the field, and the Chiefs say, no, you have to get 5 more yards to get in the end zone on us. L'Jarius Sneed punches that ball out, and Nick Bolton falls on it. Huge play in the game. Just awesome stuff from this defense at the perfect time.
Again, they're celebrating here in the locker room club, the players filing in behind us. But Jalen Watson's interception, a wheel route intended for Zay Jones, and that was just a athletic, spectacular play. In the right spot, but he had to go up and get that one. I just think people underestimate the athleticism of Jalen Watson.
It was a one-handed interception. I mean, unbelievable. Incredible stuff from Jalen Watson. Reminded me of the pick 6 he had against the Chargers way back in week 2, having a huge play at the perfect time. If you watch Zay Jones on that play, he's looking for the ball still. He doesn't know that Jalen Watson picked it off because nobody's going to pick that ball off, right? It's in the perfect spot. Just amazing stuff from Jalen. And a really fun note here. Think about the 7th-round picks in this game. So Jalen Watson with the game-sealing interception, and Isaiah Pacheco on offense with 12 carries for 95 yards and a huge 39-yard run when Chad Henne was in the game. Amazing stuff from the 7th-round picks in this game. Never turn the draft off when it's day 3. These are important guys who are going to help us, and we saw it here today in a huge game.
And Derek Nottie touching us on the shoulder as he walks by, a big sack in that game in a playoff. He plays good in the playoffs, man, I'm telling you. Yeah. But that was a good throw, by the way, by Trevor Lawrence. And then let's don't leave special teams out of this. Let's start with Harrison Butker, right? This has not been a fun year all the time for Harrison Butker, but he hits not 1, but 2 50-yard field goals at the perfect time. And then he tackles Jamal Agnew, or that's going to be a kickoff return for a touchdown, and we might not be having this discussion.
I've only seen it once, but I think he tackled him like with his face, like just laid it all out there. He's like, you're not scoring a touchdown on me. He was the last line of defense on that play and made sure Jamal Agnew did not find the end zone. It was obviously a huge play. And yeah, the 50-yard field goals, just nails, and the biggest of moments in this game. It's hard being a kicker in the NFL because all the attention is on you if you miss a kick, right? And you're thinking about it. You have all this time to think about it on the sideline. And the biggest game of the season, he didn't flinch. We needed all of those points here tonight, and great stuff from Harrison Butker. Good for him.
Rob Riggle's such a great Chiefs fan and such a great comedian, right? Remember in The Hangover, in the face. It's my best line of Rob Riggle's career. But let's don't forget Tommy Townsend here. 2 incredible punts that flipped the field, again, at strategic times. It's easy to take Tommy Townsend for credit. That's a 45-yard net, and that includes the Agnew return at the end of the game. Tommy Townsend helped win this game in a big way.
Yeah, you never want to punt, right? But particularly at the end when we're trying to eat clock, those are huge punts by Tommy Townsend. You forget that L'Jarius Sneed's forced fumble. The Chiefs had to punt immediately after that. You need Tommy to come up with a huge punt there. If he shanks that or if it gets blocked, all of a sudden the forced fumble doesn't matter at all. But huge punts by Tommy in this game. The Chiefs never want to punt, but they have a weapon here at punter whenever they have to.
And again, so many awesome things that accomplish. Again, Andy Reid sets an NFL record, 10 playoff wins, or 10 playoff wins with 2 different teams, and then second all time. But when you also look at the 5 straight AFC championship games, that's remarkable what Kelsey Mahomes got done in this game as well. But now our attention turns to tomorrow. If the Bengals beat the Bills, we'll be right here at GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium for an AFC championship game. The 5th straight time the Chiefs would host it. That's an ongoing NFL record. If the Bills win, it's headed to Atlanta.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens in tomorrow's game. It's tough to really root for anyone in that one, but hopefully the game is here at GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium. We want to host this game here, host 5 straight AFC title games. What an amazing opportunity for the Chiefs. And if we have to go to Atlanta, the Chiefs will go to Atlanta. But the important thing is we can enjoy the game tomorrow, see what happens in that one. The Chiefs are going to the AFC title game for a 5th straight year. That much is guaranteed.
If Andy Reid's going to Neptune, I'll go there to play Kazakhstan.
Yep. Wherever we got to go.
All right. Chiefs win at 27-20. Now get ready. We'll keep you updated all week long to get ready for the AFC Championship game every day. Matt and I and the rest of our 65 TPT crew. Never get used to winning playoff games, ever. Don't ever take it for granted. The Chiefs win at 27-20.
Chiefs Rewind is brought to you by Ford, the official car and truck of the Kansas City Chiefs, and by Community America Credit Union, the official banking partner of the Kansas City Chiefs.